Welcome to Plain Truth video number 33. Today I'd like to talk to you about something that's near and dear to my heart. It's called political correctness. First of all, let me state that for the record, I'm 60 years old. I'm a veteran. I'm a conservative die-hard Republican and a proud member of the NRA. Now, that having been said, let's move on. To our Arab immigrant brethren, I am really sick and tired of you saying you're offended by this, you're offended by that. I don't give a shit. You come to America, you assimilate into our culture, not the other way around. If you're offended by our flag, don't look at it. If you're offended by dogs, don't look at them. We are not going to bend over backwards and assimilate to your culture. You came to America, you assimilate to our culture. You don't like it here? Fucking leave. Bottom line. In terms of immigrants that come here illegally, they whine, they cry, boo-hoo, boo-hoo, boo-hoo. If you come here illegally, you get what you get. If you starve, you die of dehydration, you're raped, shot, deported, run over by a bus, whatever. You come here illegally, you get what you get. Quit your fucking whining and crying. If you can't stand the heat, as Harry Truman said, stay out of the kitchen. Not a problem. Now, moving on. I can't believe that you liberal Democrat snowflakes are offended by Christmas songs. Songs that have been in the public domain for decades, sometimes even hundreds of years. You're offended by them. Guess what? I don't fucking care. I like Jingle Bells, White Christmas, Baby It's Cold Outside. The list goes on and on and on. If you're offended by it, I don't really give a shit. You have the option of shutting the radio off, turning the television off, or just simply putting on a pair of headphones and listening to something else. Now, on to the next issue. Those morons who say Santa Claus should be gender neutral or should be a woman. Are you fucking serious? You're picking that apart. Get a fucking life. Saint Nicholas, who lived, I believe, in somewhere between the 4th and 6th century, was a real person. Did he fly around in a magic sleigh with magic reindeer and deliver Christmas presents to everyone around the world? Of course not. That's popular myth. But he was a real person, and he was a man. He was not a woman, he was a man. So get over it. Now, moving on. Some horse's ass banned the children in her classroom from enjoying candy canes. Candy canes are just what the name implies. They're in the shape of a cane, and they're made out of candy. Hello? They're peppermint. They don't represent Jesus or Jews or anything else that starts with a J. They're a nice sweet treat for children to have during the Christmas holidays. And in my home, we say Merry Christmas. We don't say Happy Holidays, we say Merry Christmas. If you're offended by that, then don't fucking come here. It's a no-brainer, really. Now, moving on. If you're one of those Americans that was born 1998, 99, 2000, in that general area, or maybe even a little later, and you walk to school every day, or to a job, or wherever you go, and you walk past a statue day after day after day, going to work, coming home, whatever, and you don't really pay any attention to it until one day someone says to you, "Oh my, the guy in that statue, he was a fucking racist, so you need to hate him. Well, that is utterly ridiculous. If a statue was erected in, say, 1880 to commemorate some historical event, and it happens to depict a human being, it doesn't matter whether you personally like them or not. Who cares? Your opinion doesn't mean anything, any more than mine does. You hate that person because some other asshole told you to hate that person. Some other liberal snowflake. Case in point, statues of Robert E. Lee. Now, whether you agree with Robert E. Lee or not is completely irrelevant. You can hate the man's politics, you can hate what the man stood for, it doesn't matter. He distinguished himself in a long and illustrious military career. He went to VMI. He was a graduate of West Point. He distinguished himself in the service of his country during the Mexican-American War and other skirmishes here and there. He led the attack to liberate Harper's Ferry after John Brown seized the armory there. He was a lieutenant at the time. He served with honor, and he served meritoriously. And for you to denigrate that man's legacy is disgraceful. He was offered the command of the Union Army and reluctantly turned Abraham Lincoln down so he could serve his native Virginia. Whether he was right, whether it was wrong, is irrelevant. For you to judge him by the standards of 2018 is completely and totally wrong. You judge him by the standards of 1865. Now, that having been said, this man lost everything. He lost the Civil War, he lost his military career, he lost his fortune, he lost his home. Arlington National Cemetery is built on the grounds of his former plantation. He literally lost everything to follow his personal beliefs. Now, moving on. Every soldier that's ever served this country is worthy of your respect, regardless of their political affiliation or their moral beliefs or standards. Under the administration of Dwight D. Eisenhower, all veterans that have served this country were awarded veteran status. That's i.e. the Revolutionary War, the Civil War, Spanish-American War, etc., etc., etc. So when you denigrate the memory of a Confederate soldier because you don't like his politics, you don't like what he stood for, he was a racist, he was this, he was that, blah, 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 yada, 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 you're denigrating the memory of a brave American soldier who fought for what they believed to be the just cause. It doesn't matter a hoot in hell whether you agree with it or not. And personally, I could give a shit less whether you agree with it or not. Moving on. The next hot button issue is this constant bullshit about where President Trump puts his dick, if he colluded with Putin to win the election, if Russia interfered with the election, yada, 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 yada. Who gives a shit what he did before he took the oath and sat in the big chair? Who cares? Him and Putin could be gay lovers. I don't care. Who gives a shit? As long as he does the job that we hired him to the best of his ability, I don't give a fuck. Who he screws, who he doesn't screw, did he lie, did he tell the truth, who gives a shit? I personally don't care. I have enough on my plate without worrying about what Trump does. I don't care. I honestly don't give a fucking shit. Now, moving on. One thing that I find absolutely astounding is the fact that you young, white, liberal snowflake Democrats scream and rant and rave about gun control. The best gun control there is out there is when you point your weapon at someone, you use both fucking hands. These are people who have never owned a gun, never held a gun, never fired a gun, never even seen a gun in person. They may have seen a picture of one, or some other dumbass white liberal snowflake Democrat showed them a picture of one, but they know nothing about what they speak. Nothing. But still, we need to have gun control. We need to ban guns. We need this, we need that. I'm 60 years old. I don't propose for a moment that I'm the most intelligent person out there. Far from it. But I've lived a long time, and I've learned a lot in the road of life. I've owned guns all of my life. I've used guns all of my life. I never shot anyone. I never attempted to shoot anyone. I never robbed anyone. I never threatened anyone with a gun. I'm a responsible, mature, adult gun owner. And as I stated earlier, I am a longtime member of the NRA and a very, very, very vocal friend of the Second Amendment. Now moving on from there. I don't believe in political correctness, never have, never will. If you're a dickhead, I'm going to tell you you're a dickhead. If I offend you, I don't really give a shit. Now, you have several options. You can deal with it. You can cry and whine. You can take a swing at me. In either case, I don't care. I'm too old to care. I really don't give a shit. Political correctness is a crock. Just like white liberal Democrats are a crock. Just like this bullshit about immigration is a crock. Just like the fact that the Democratic Party is staunchly fighting our president tooth and nail to get across their liberal idea of a socialist utopia. Well, you know what, liberal Democrats? Fuck you, okay? Fuck you, fuck your mama, fuck your daddy, fuck your mama, sister, fuck your sister, your brother, your auntie, your grandma, the pool boy, the cook, the maid, whoever. Fuck them all. Okay? I am tired of the bullshit. Things need to get back to normal. You know, if you say to a young lady, even someone that you know well, "My, you look pretty today, Sarah." Next thing you know, you're being slapped with a sexual harassment claim. Or you say, "Hey lady, your kid's a brat." "Well, it's none of your goddamn business." Next thing you know, you're being sued. Because you hurt the poor little darling child's feelings. Boo-hoo-hoo-hoo-hoo. Grow a set. Grow up and grow a set. Man up. You know, everybody says, "Oh, bullying, kinder, gentler society." Horse shit. I'll tell you straight up, when I was raised, my father told me, he said, if you get in a fight, you do your best. You don't strike the first blow, but you do your best. If you get your ass kicked, there's no shame in it. But don't let the other guy see you cry. He goes, you hold it in till you're by yourself. And he said, but, mark my words, if you get into a fight and you get your ass kicked and you don't give it everything you've got, win, lose, or draw, he goes, and I find out about it, I will beat your ass because I'm not raising no fucking punk. You don't have to be a tough guy. Just fight the fuck back. Oh, cyberbullying. Guess what, Mom and Dad? Take the fucking computer away. Shut down Facebook. Shut down Twitter. Shut down FaceTime. Shut it all down. Take the shit away. Curtail the use of the telephone. Take the cell phone away. Be a parent. You want to protect your poor little lamb? Then take the shit away. And if you find out who's bullying your kid, handle it. If that means going over to the other kid's house and kicking their mom and dad's ass, then you fucking do it. Don't pussy out. And stop raising pussies. Get your kids into karate. Dads, teach your sons how to box. You don't have to raise a bunch of thugs. Just raise some kids with a little fucking backbone. Oh, boo-hoo-hoo, Billy picked on me. And now I'm going to go in my room and hang myself. You're raising a generation, yet again, of spineless, gutless, brainless pussies with no fucking backbone, no guts, because they've been mollycoddled, spoiled, pampered, and babied all their fucking life. Nobody ever handed me a goddamn thing. Everything I have, I had to work my ass off. When I turned 18, my father gave me a simple choice. You can get a job and stay here and contribute to the house. You can go in the military, which I did, or you can get the fuck out, which I did. They two coincided with one another. I got the fuck out and I went in the military. But the bottom line is, I was raised to be independent. I was raised to stand on my own 2 feet. I was raised to be resourceful. I was raised to work hard, pay my dues, pay my bills, and keep it moving. And that's what I've done since I was 15 years old. So basically what it boils down to, America, is this great big shit sandwich that you're now being forced to take a bite out of. You made it. You made it. Every bit of this is your fault. You created this fucking monster. This monster with immigration, weak, liberal snowflakes, spoiled brat kids. I mean, it's all your fault. You created this nightmare. My father's philosophy was, when in doubt, knock him the fuck out. I wasn't beaten by my father, but my father had a very, very well-defined sense of right and wrong. You stepped over the line, you paid for it. If that meant a backhand across the mouth, a belt across the ass, whatever the case may be. If you earned it, you got it. Point blank. So that, ladies and gentlemen, is the end of my rant for today. If I don't talk to you again beforehand, I would like to wish each and every one of you a Merry Christmas and a Happy New Year. Keep the Lord Jesus in your heart. Pray for those in need. Give a helping hand where you can. Drive careful. Stay safe and be happy. Thank you and good night.